this bloke comes back to the run home, Brian, and one of the great guys in rugby league, both as a coach, as a player, decorated career, and I'm pleased to say joining the run home once again with Joel and Fletch, the great Kevvie Walters. G'day, Kev.
Good afternoon, Joel. Hey, Fletch, you're too kind. Joel, you're too kind, mate.
No.
Hey, Kevvie, you know obviously it's well known, well documented. You won 6 comps. How many of those 6 comps did you get a ring for?
Would have been the last couple. Well, 98 the rings came in, didn't they? First year of the NRL. So yeah, 98, 97 they gave us a ring for Super League. It's covered in diamonds. That was a good year, Fletch. 97.
Yeah, but what about previous to that? What did you get?
They used to give you a medal.
Right.
You used to get a Winfield Cup medal.
Gotcha. And have you got them stored away somewhere safe? Are they all together?
I've still got a couple. A couple. I gave a couple away.
Did you?
Not away to family, which which is great.
Yeah.
You know, got to share the love. So, but good times in the playing days. That's for sure.
Hey, Kevvie, how hard was it as a club adjusting from Vegas? Was it difficult?
Vegas was difficult, yeah. Joel, you take away 30 men under 30 to Vegas and see how you go, buddy.
I know. I know.
You've seen the bloke beside you, imagine having Fletch in your side.
Oh, please.
Vegas.
Oh, well, Kevvie, if you don't go back next year, which they're saying 4 new teams, Manly did it.
Yeah.
How do you think you handled it? Did you handle it the right way, do you think? I mean, it's all easy in hindsight, but Manly went straight there and had the 10 days there. What would your advice be for other teams going over there?
Well, I was actually quite happy with our prep. We stayed and trained in LA for about 6 or 7 days, which was good at the Rams facility. But it was just all new territory for us, you know, and we've done that before when you go to different things, but it was just a whole new world over there. And I thought all the teams played some good football over there. And, we wouldn't change too much of the way we prepared. You know, we came up against a pretty good side. The Roosters, they were very good that night. And likewise, the South Manly game, that was a cracking game. So you couldn't really say the preparation sort of interfered with the football because it didn't. But it was certainly a different experience for our guys preparing, that's for sure. But it would have been the same for the Roosters and all the other teams as well.
Kevvie, now that it's behind you, and maybe some advice for coaches moving forward, was there anything that you sort of changed for that game or would change just based on the field size? Was it a big factor?
No, we did enough. We had 4 or 5 training sessions, on the smaller field. But when you're coaching and when you don't actually notice the smaller field. It's more so the players, feel it. And I guess our guys as much as any, because we like to use the ball and use our speed, and which didn't sort of help us too much over there. But the Roosters were too good for us. They played some good football and too good in the end. So as I said, I think our preparation was good. We did everything we could, trained on the smaller field and all those things. But at the end of the day, someone wins and someone loses, and we were the losers.
Exactly right. Who would win or lose this? 40-metre dash. Beautiful eyes, Reece Walsh. Dean Mariner.
Mariner for me.
Ezra Mam's a little sneaky chance too, Brian. How would you see?
I want to be on Mariner.
Unisoi Marineris or Capitan, so Capitan.
Now, Fletch is on the good money.
Yep.
Mariner and all our speed tests that we do and time trials, so he's the one.
Wow.
Walsh second, close second, and then Ezra third. And speed, as we know, it's different. You see some guys and they run really fast, and you get them on the field and they're not that quick. But those 3 in particular, when you put a ball in their hands, they seem to get even faster.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
Now, Kevvie,
anyway.
I want to take you back to last week. I may or may not have had a bet on Ezra to score any time.
Yeah.
Katoni busts through. What was going through his mind when all he had to do was draw and pass the hook, the fullback in Latrell Mitchell when he passed it 4 metres prior to him? What went on there?
Yeah, Latrell got him a beauty. He tricked him, didn't he? Latrell, the old trick, show that you've gone, but then leap out. And it was a great movement from Latrell. If he, that try gets scored 9 times out of 10. But just last week, it was great work from Latrell. And also, I think if Katoni had his time, it's the old draw and pass.
Yes,
under 7.
Exactly. Anyway,
just on Ezra, right? I tell you, I watched that game back closely, and Ryan Pappenhausen has his skill. Nathan Blacklock back in the day had that skill as well, where they just seem to see something before everyone else, Kevvie. And I'm seeing with Ezra that break where he gets smashed. Watch the top of screen, and he leaves.
Where
He departs. He departs way before everyone else. He knows something might happen here, and he's in the picture all the time, isn't he, Kev?
Yeah, that's right. That's his anticipation, and he's come across from the other side of the field as well, because primarily, he patrols that left side of the field. But any time with us, if there's half a break or half a chance, he's normally around the ball somewhere and puts himself in a position to score tries, which he scored, I think, 16 or 17 last year, which is a record for the club. In that position. So, and maybe a record in the game as well. I think
probably
over the years. So. Yeah, so he's really an instinct player, which is great for us. We're trying to work on the other parts of his game a little bit. His defence, I thought, has tightened up a lot, from last year and the year before. So that's been great. But yeah, he's a competitor too, Ezra. That's what we like about him more than anything else.
Tell you what, he's looking good with that hair. Very sharp.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he's got the double earrings,
growing.
the double gold earrings, growing it out. Looks good. Looks exactly like you, Kevvie, in about 87. Now, Kevvie,
nail polish on too.
the nail polish. That's a big go.
Yes.
I've seen that. A lot of players are doing that. Now, Kevvie, we're not talking about the 2023 grand final, are we? I wanted to know.
Yeah, we can, Fletch.
We can talk about it.
It was a great. The thing I don't like about it, Fletch, is all the negativity around what happened. Sure, like to make a grand final, that's a tremendous effort. All 17 teams last year laced up, to get into the grand final. That's what you do as a player and as a coach and as a supporter of the club. You want to be there grand final day. The next best thing, of course, is to win it. And all the negativity around, Penrith came back brilliantly. Like it's not like we just handed them the trophy. They fought hard. Nathan Cleary played the best 20 minutes I've seen anyone play since Ezra Mam in that earlier 20 minutes before that.
That's right.
So for me, and that's why I said to the players, if they want to talk negatively about the grand final, don't talk to them, because it was a great experience. Sure, we didn't win, but there was so many good learnings and so many good things happened in that game that we're taking that, into this year. And I just wanted the whole experience to be a positive one rather than, the grand final, where so many good things happened in that game.
Good call, Kevvie.
That's the best. Kevvie, I was so privileged to be there. I felt that way. And
Did you pay
boys,
did you pay for your ticket?
I didn't pay for it, Brian, but that's fine. but Kevvie, I personally left feeling, I reckon that's the best game I've ever seen. Not just grand final, mate. It was they should be proud, absolutely. And even Ivan's come out and said there were 5 or 6 things that happened in that game that all just fell their way. And if one of those don't go their way, well, then you guys are the premiers.
Yeah. And we've all been part of the footy guides and how they work. Some, you hear Gus talk about it all the time and how they work. Some you can't work it out sometimes how they do work, but it's just how it is. And you look at, again, I've watched the game lots of times. People say, "Oh, I can't watch it." Well, watch it. Have a look at Ezra Mam and some of the tries that Penrith scored. Like Cleary, what he did.
Yep.
When you
dragged him.
When you were watching it, Kevvie, who were you watching it with? Were you just on your pad?
Or sometimes, or at home. I've watched it a few times, a couple of times, just looking at little bits of highlights, and you get a good feeling about it. Then as I say, it wasn't a great result for us, but so much to like about the whole day and the whole experience.
All right, we're playing the.
And before we do that, Brian, I want to ask Kevvie, because I think our listeners would absolutely love this, and the manner in which you guys came out in the second half. Kevvie, what goes through a coach's mind where you go, I'm walking down now to half-time, and this could be the biggest speech I've ever had to say in my life. Do you vividly remember what your message was at half-time?
Yeah, I do. And Wayne Bennett always told me that there's 2 types of speeches at half-time.
Yep.
One when you're in front and one when you're behind. And they don't change too much, to be honest, because we were behind by 2, and I thought we defended really well. I just felt that we had to get our attack sort of moving a bit better. They obviously listened at half-time with the attack, but we just sort of left the defence in the dressing room in that last 20, which was fatigue and all those things. So, again, so much to learn for our players, our coaching staff, everyone. What a game. What a fantastic game.
Now, Kevvie, this week, the rematch, can I ask you, Adam Reynolds' knee, is it a MCL? The report is was it previous injuries had? How bad is it? How bad is it?
That he heard it in Vegas. Just got a couple of knocks on it in the game against South. So he'll miss this week. And we expect him to be back next week for the Cowboys. you get a bit more of a rest. There's 8-day turnaround into Friday night next week against North Queensland. So, yeah, he could have played if it was a bigger game, but not that this isn't a bigger game, I'm not disrespecting that, but he just wouldn't be quite right 100%. So we need him, just getting his knee right, rehabbing it and getting it right for next Friday night.
Now, you got in your squad Kurt Falls. I know he's signed from Penrith. Have you had him, like, sort of giving any intel into calls and stuff?
Oh, not so much calls, but he obviously understands the Penrith way. He's been there for 2 or 3 years in their systems, or maybe a bit longer. So he spent a whole pre-season with us. But we understand Penrith in the way that I think everyone does it that watches enough rugby league. Understand Penrith. They just do the same. They're a great side and have had great success. They were just doing their job and being themselves. So and I think if any team can ruffle a bit of the Panthers, it's the way that we sort of play, and we have to be good, obviously very good, but we need to play our style of football, and I feel like that's where, in that last 20 in the grand final, we sort of stopped playing, and Penrith took a huge advantage of that. So that's one of the learnings from last year, is to keep playing, understand there will be mistakes because that's the way we play. With that, it's not high risk, but high skill level, there will be some mistakes, but minimise those mistakes and just keep playing, though. Just keep playing.
Yeah. Yeah, what a team you got there. How do you compare to this time last year, you reckon, Kev? Are you in front of where you were last year?
Oh, we were definitely in front with the experience that gained from last year, right from round one when we beat Penrith at Penrith all the way through to the grand final. Some great learnings for this is my 4th year as the coach of this great club. So I'm no Wayne Bennett or Craig Bellamy. I'm still learning and I'm still getting things in place so that we can perform well, and all of our coaches for that matter perform at a high level every week, which is what you need to do. Otherwise, you'll get beaten. And that was proven. Over in Vegas, we weren't that bad against the Roosters, but they were just a little bit better. So you don't have to be off too far to get it wrong these days. Not like through my era, when it's a bit easier then. So,
Kevvie, your left back row, Piakura. Goodness me.
Yep. We love him, don't we?
Oh my goodness, he's going to be a player. Can I ask you this? Is he where did you sign him from? Did he play rugby at all? Was he one of those?
He hasn't played any rugby. No, he went to school on the Gold Coast, one of those schools down there, and came through the system. They're obviously New Zealand background. He's from the Cook Islands, actually. That's where his parents, that's his heritage. But yeah, he's been in our system for quite a few years now, and just each year he's been getting better and better. And we missed him over in Vegas.
Yeah.
He got knocked out early in the game and didn't sort of play anymore. And last week, I think, is the first time he's ever played 80 minutes in the NRL. So, he's making some good strides. Still a long way to go for Brendy, but he's toughening up and hard. It's an important position these days, isn't it, that back row and the way they defend and their carries. All things are really important for him. So he's getting much better.
I've been banging on about how, and Stephen Menzies was the best at running a line. Is it something that you have to teach to these back rowers, or, Kevvie, does it come naturally to some of them? Because the timing of it.
I should probably ask you that question.
No,
that's why you
No. I was terrible at it because
the old Fisher.
No, I was terrible at it because I didn't. Gus used to say you got to run into the smaller part of the hole, right? So you got to get closer to the defender. When you're playing outside Freddie, he didn't really know what he was going to do. Yeah. So he wasn't much of a talker. But
no,
I see Teague Wilton does it really well. I want to know, as a coach, do the back rowers practice that, Kevvie? Is it that important, or is it just natural?
No, it's really important, but also some guys do it obviously better than others, like everything in our game. And that's one of his great traits. He's got good late feet at the line, Brendan, which is a great asset for us to have with him. And line running is something that he does, really naturally. He likes the contact as well, which we've had some discussion about. So, again, he's still learning, getting it right, but he's a really good young player for us, and we'd like to see him blossom over the next 12 to 18 months.
Now, Kevvie, my co-host here is trying to gain my attention because he's waving his arms feverishly and he's saying, I've got something for you.
No.
So he says to me,
he's
got a try. Is it a try for Kevvie or a try for Brendan?
No, try for Kevvie.
Try for Kevvie. All right. You two, Kevin Walters.
He might not want
Kevin
to hear
Walters,
Brian.
Joel Kane, Kevin Walters, get into it.
He may not want to hear it, Brian.
Yes, he does. His ears are open.
Yeah, are your ears open, Kevvie? Would you like to hear this rhetoric?
Yeah. Yep.
So we're playing to this great strength of Dylan Edwards, Brian, who's just such a great worker. right? So when we're going to shift on him, we're going to shift on him from about the 70. Kevvie will know what I'm talking about here. And what he's going to do is he's going to work his backside off because that's Dylan Edwards.
Yep.
And where he's going to defend, because this is their system, he's going to park himself on the short side.
Got you. In the line.
In the line on the short side, right?
Gotcha.
Because that gives him an extra head in the middle of the field.
Yep.
And then we're going to shift immediately on him. So you couldn't do this against some of the more lazy fullbacks, Brian, because they'll be stuck in the middle.
Gotcha.
But Dylan, because he works so earnestly, he's going to get there, right? So we shift on him. Dylan's going to plonk himself on the short side, and then we shift back again.
Okay.
And we get the kick in a place that's not too close to the winger. And Dylan, as earnest as he may try,
Won't get there.
he's not Superman. That's just what I think. He doesn't need to comment, Brian.
Well, you haven't coached a team to a grand final.
Correct.
Or a state of origin,
Correct.
or a state of origin team.
So we're just media pundits doing our
Let's
column
ask
best.
Kevvie, thoughts?
Yeah, well, it's great. It's very smart thinking from Joel. I noticed you do have some good, strong opinions on the game, Joel, and that's one of them. Yeah, he can't be. He's a great fullback, isn't he? Very.
Yes.
I think he's. Well, I'm surprised he hasn't played more for New South Wales, but they got some good options there as well. Did I say New South Wales?
Yes, you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that. Now, Kevvie, we've been doing this radio show for about 3 years, and we've had a lot of young players on. Well, not young players, just a lot of NRL players. And I'll be damned, they've never heard of this movie. So I'm going to give you a quote. Well, I'm not going to say it. You'll hear the audio. I'm 90% confident you'll get this. I'm hope so.
Be careful, mate. Movies I'm not big on.
Okay. This was around your era when you were in your prime.
Right.
He'll get this.
All right. Tourist, play the audio, please.
Is that a hair gel?
Yeah.
Great. I could use
No, you don't.
I just ran out. How are we doing over here?
Any idea, Kevvie?
Yeah, that's Porky's. That's the Porky's movie.
It's a little bit after. It's a little
No,
bit
it's
after.
not. What's the name? Something about...
Yes, Kevin.
There you go, Fletch.
Yes, Kevin. I knew you'd get it.
Oh, yes.
I was surprised at how many of the players have never heard of it. Then they're saying, you're a bit older and that's. But we're going back to, I would know Porky's.
Yes.
Because that's the equivalent. Back Porky's when I was and Caddyshack.
Yep.
That would have been the same sort of age group. Do these players not watch much TV? What are they doing? What do they get up to?
Yeah, they watch plenty of movies, mate. They're not, but you've got to get their era. They don't go back in time.
No, it's all they want everything now. It's all streaming, isn't it?
Okay, Kevvie, before we let you go, we want to know if the Broncos are going back in time. Now, Benny Davis, he had a chat with Tevita Pangai Junior, who had this to say.
Could we see you in the NRL before the end of the year? Would you like to see? Would you like to see that?
Kevvie's got my number. Kevvie's got my number if they know where to find me, but they're not struggling at the moment. They played in the grand final, and I think that's the spot that they're in. They can pick and choose who they want to come into their team, and if I fit their squad, then I'll be happy to go back there. But right now, I haven't received anything, so we'll just wait and see.
Mate, we wish
Hopefully.
Ooh, here we go.
Thoughts, Kev?
Yep. Look, I have had some discussions with Tevita, a few months back, and he was into his boxing. So we're just sitting back and watching how it all sort of develops. Tevita's obviously someone with enormous talent. We're just sitting back at the moment and watching like a lot of people.
Kevvie, we really appreciate your time. We've taken up a heap of it as well. And, mate, I really loved how you've approached the grand final because you absolutely bang on it. It's one of the greatest games we've ever seen, and they should be celebrating it. Absolutely. Beaten by a champion side, and you meet again on the weekend, which we cannot wait. All the best, Kevvie. We can't wait to hear and see that game.
Good on you, gents. We're looking forward to it as well.
Thanks.
Good on you, boys.
Kevvie Walters.
Good on you, Kevvie. And as Booger would say, he was a great part of that.
What a champion. He's just such a lovely bloke.
He's very open.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah, we'll be out there calling it too, Brian. Thursday night, live from out there at Panthers. The Broncos taking on the Penny Panthers. SEN have got the call from 7 p.m. That's 6 p.m. Brisbane time, so we cannot wait for that. SEN, of course, calling the Thursday night game and the first of the two on Fridays in season 2024. So a great way to kick off your weekend, and we cannot wait to be a part of that call. It is a run home with Joel and Fletch. Yes, Brian?
Mark, this text through. Mark goes, Kevvie, welcome to Mr. Complicated. Good luck. I think he's talking about you.
Okay.
With you.
Oh, yes.
Can you
what?
ask Kevvie if he still owns the Red Brick Hotel in Brizzy? If so, I think he might be a bit short because 2 jackpots went off there.
Halfway down that chat with Kevvie, and I was
Yeah.
reluctant to do it.
Why?
Even though I said, can you ask me that question?
Why?
I felt like Gary from Newtown.
That's fine.
I was going to sack myself. Anyway, 1300 01 1170.
Did you say sack?
But yes, but just imagine if they did that, Brian.
Why are
True
you
Crime
limbering up?
Tuesday. Manny Carudis is coming in, that's why.
And